Are you struggling to make sales as a gym owner? You are doing all the right things, you're just not getting people over the line. You run a high ticket model, you charge for small group personal training, you're charging way above the average for all the gyms in your local area. And you're starting to second guess yourself. You're starting to think that you're not good enough at sales. You're starting to think that you're bad at sales. And you're feeling all those normal feelings around being too creepy or too pushy or too salesy or just too desperate. You're scared of being rejected. You're scared that if you continue this way that your gym is not going to grow. You're scared that at some point you're going to have to close your gym. Sound a bit like you? That's cool. I've been there, and sales in the gym industry is very, very tricky. So what I want to do is I want to spend the next 20 minutes giving you a dreamy lecture on all things sales. Things that we teach within the Gym Owner Network that has seen gym owners make serious bank. The same sales tactics that I've taught my team at March on, whom all go and sell proper high ticket front end offers within our gyms as well. The reality is when I teach this to you, when I shift your mindset on what it is that we're doing, it's gonna transform everything about sales for you. And that's what I want. So quick snapshot. Who am I? James Robinson. I'm head of March on gyms. I drive the growth for the gyms at March on. All right. I lead the head coaches, the gym managers at each one of our sites, and they perform like you cannot believe. I also am the co-founder of the Gym Owner Network, the channel that you're on now. The Gym Owner Network has over 200 success stories, case studies of successful transformations of gyms across 14 different countries, different markets, different models. No matter what, we will work with you to wrap it all up. Better product, better offering, teach you how to lead a team, teach you how to market, and just grow month on month. That's what we do. These sales lectures, like this one right now, is one of many different assets that we produce on a weekly basis that sit within our vault. Because for us, the whole thing about transformation for the gym owner isn't necessarily here's the roadmap, here's a strategy, go do it. We also teach you how. Because one of the big kind of frameworks for us is we don't want to teach you, we just don't want to give you fish, we want to teach you how to fish, right? And that matters a lot to us. We want to turn you pro. So let's talk about sales. The number one thing about sales when it comes to the problems, the big struggles, is all around those narratives that we tell ourselves. Things like, I don't want to be too salesy, too creepy, too desperate. I don't want to be too pushy. I don't want to be scared of rejection. I don't want to be that weird car salesman. You know, the creepy car salesman is trying to stop it, right? It's not that, right? But somewhere down the line, we've allowed that narrative to sit in. We've allowed the narrative of like, I don't want to come across desperate, needy, too pushy. And the reality is that I don't know where this has come from. I don't know if you've had unsuccessful sales opportunities where they've gone and given you that feedback and you've taken that to heart. Because the reality is if those people felt like that and you felt like that, it's probably just feeding on your insecurities. They might not even be the people that you want to bring into your business, which might be true. So let's talk about this. From a sales standpoint, one of the biggest mindset shifts that I've had when it comes to sales is this. Sales is the first step in transformation. I want that to sit in for a little bit. Transformation happens at the point of sale. Let me say that again. Transformation happens at the point of sale. So let's just hang on that for a bit. In a recent sales conversation with the gym owner who came to us, he's been a gym owner a long time, he's been in the game, he's had many mentors, all of them, he's done all of them. And yet his business is just not going to the next level. And he jumped on a sales call with me and went through the framework, everything, which I happily teach you. And then it got to the point where I'm like, cool, let's, so what do you say, Sean? Are we in? And that wall came up, and he put this big wall to protect himself. And that wall of procrastination, overthinking, will this be right for me? What if it doesn't work out? Am I another failure? What will my wife think because I've gone and bought another mentorship and nothing's happened? All those things, right? And the reality is, I then started to challenge it. I challenged him on his narrative around it, understanding, just meeting him with curiosity. And fundamentally, what it came out to be was he didn't want to go and invest in another mentorship only to fail again. I then delved deeper into, well, what is that? What is the thing that he keeps doing when he's chucking money at a problem but not taking full responsibility? Once we hit that nail on the head, he was like, you're fucking right. Let's go, pay the money. And already there was a transformative experience. He felt different. He could feel it. He realized this is how change must feel. It must feel different. So I share that with you because selling gym memberships at gyms like ours, small or large group, coach-led facilities where we're trying to transform lives, that's the fucking word right there. Is we're trying to transform. Now, if you don't align with that first and foremost, everything about sales is going to feel tacky. Because when I give you the tactics, and I'm going to give you the one-liners, and I'm going to give you the way in which you can get over the, let me ask my partner first question. I'll give you all of that. That's absolutely fine. But if you don't align with the transformative element of sales, you're never going to make sales. You're going to stay stuck. So, what does that mean? These individuals who apply to come work at your gym, these individuals who apply to come train at your gym, there's some kind of a motivation. The motivation of the pain of staying the same, staying fat, staying unhealthy, staying lethargic, staying without their existence that they want to be in. They don't want to stay here. They don't want to tolerate the current version of themselves, and they want to become their best version of themselves. There's a motivation there to change. They might have seen an ad, they might have heard about you, they would have pressed go, right? But for a large portion of the people that we serve, they've been staying this way for many, many years. They've been spending every single day justifying why it's okay, why they need to focus on their career and not their health, focus on their kids and not their health, focus on their business and not their health. I'll get fit when this. At the point of when you might watch this, it might be at the phase of the year where people started with New Year's resolutions, failed, and then were like, but work this and life this. And they just park their own goals on the side. And the reality is that these people, when they get on the phone with you, they got so good. They've got so good. They've practiced this thing of parking their own health, their own fitness, their own goals, prioritizing themselves. They've parked it, and they've got so good at it that when they get an opportunity to make a change, and it might be that phone call, and they just need to be convinced, they just need to get someone to believe in them because they don't want to believe in them because they've spent the last 20 years disbelieving in themselves. That if you don't invest time into that transformation, that belief for them, they're not going to do it. And if they don't do it, then you've not done your job, coach. You're not nearly as good as you said you were. So, it's not about your diet that you're going to prescribe. The meal plan, the great workouts, the great gym, the app, the protein shakes, the beautiful floor, the beautiful equipment. The 6-week program that's going to cost £397. It's none of that bullshit. It's your ability right then and then on the phone call them out on their bullshit, get them to make that first step of transformation to themselves, and then go and execute the plan. So the first biggest thing when it comes to sales, you have to shift the mindset from this current narrative that you're holding on to this is job one. I'm a coach. I want to impact lives. My business is here to change the lives of many in my local area. Do your fucking job. Transform that person's life right then and there. All right? So that's the first mindset shift, okay? Transformation happens at the point of sale. So this is where it gets really tricky. If we can agree that we want to transform lives through the skill of sales, I think we can agree that, then therefore, what is the shift that we need to make towards when we get met with objections? Time. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time for this. Money. Oh, that's quite expensive. Ask the partner. Let me just double check with the wife. Let me just double check with the husband. Let me just double check with my partner. What do we do with that? First thing, most important thing, when you get met with an objection, I want you to meet it with curiosity. It is so easy when you place your self-worth on how good you are at sales that when you're met with an objection, for you to immediately go, oh, that hurt. And you just get all tight and you freeze and you just fucking up. When in reality, when you get met with that objection, just sit there and smile and go, shit, I didn't see that coming. And open your mind to some curious thoughts, some inquisitive thoughts to go, it's funny, Chelsea, I didn't see it that way. That's so cool that you said that. I didn't see it that way. Do you mind diving a little bit deeper on that one thing that you said? And just meet it with a level of curiosity, because what's on the other side of that objection is a hell of a lot of building blocks of reasons as to why they shouldn't do it. Whether it's fear of failure, fear of wasting money again, fear of shame going to their partner going, I bought another body transformation coach thing and it failed again. Sorry, husband, we can't go on that holiday, we said. Even though I'm not going to be able to go to that freaking holiday in shape because I've wasted money on this thing. Could be one of those stories again. Another diet plan, another this, another that. Don't have enough time, my career, all these kind of things. And the reality is there's so much of that on the other side that you need to come at it as a coach and actually just go and exercise a little bit of this curiosity. You know, so many people in sales will say to you, don't you dare coach when you're trying to make a sell. And that's true. To some degree, that's true. You're not giving them the solutions. You're not giving them the plan for free. But what you are doing is you're tabling potential solutions. You're tabling alternative ideas. You're tabling things that they wouldn't have been able to think of or have the resource to try and grab without your help as a fucking expert. So I call bullshit on that, and I call the fact that you need to be resourceful, problem solving, and instilling a belief in themselves that this now can be their time to actually achieve the thing. So, objections is cool, but what comes first before you get an objection? And there's like a delineation. Over here, you've got, excuse my handwriting, it's going to be really messy. So, you've got objections, but actually on the other side, which comes first, is obstacles. Now, just like a Ninja Warrior course, or a Tough Mudder, or something like that, you've got all these obstacles that you're going to have to get over, get under, climb over, climb across. You're going to have to see those and think about ways in which you can be agile enough to move around said thing. So it's with that when you're doing your inquisition, when you're diving deeper into who this person is, you're trying to understand through great consulting skills to determine who they are. What are their priorities in their life? What does a normal day look like? How would they fit it in normally into their week? So you want to start navigating, like, have you invested money into something like this before? What do they do for work? Do they have a profession that sounds like they could probably be in that category? Can we start to make subtle judgments of what kind of box we want to put them into? Because we're trying to look ahead at the obstacles and it's like a game of chess. We're trying to be 5 moves ahead. We're trying to put them right in the money so we can take our shot. So if it's time, if it's money, if it's career, if it's kids, it's ask this question. It's like, hey, Charles, you mentioned that you found it really hard in the past to juggle kids and your own training and work. How is it going to be different this time? Rather than going and just straight to the cell, we know that once we found out that she's a career woman, she's got kids, let's call it single mom, it's fucking tough. Once we know all those things, guess what we need to do? We need to think about, okay, well, how does that inform our decision making for where we move from here? And it will force us to go, let's ask those questions now so that it doesn't even become an objection because we've already handled it. So you've done something like this before. You said it was really tough with career, with kids. How's it going to be different now? And guess what they do? They give you the solution already. Oh, it's different now because my youngest is finally in nursery and my eldest, he plays sport until 5 p.m. each day. He's in a football academy. So I've got more than enough time to do work and training. She can't even use that now. We've literally disarmed her. So you need to look at these obstacles as opportunities to really understand how we can play the game, be agile, anticipate what they might want to bring up, and then start to chip away at it. So that by the time you go and pitch the solution, you've already done most of the objection handling. That's key. So you've anticipated the objections by looking at them as obstacles. You've overcome it, you've climbed under, you've come around it, but you've disarmed the prospect. You've disarmed the prospect. Now, what happens next? You go and you pitch, and it's like, so Charles, based on everything I've said, is there any reason why this program wouldn't be amazing for you? No, it sounds great. It's like, cool. It's going to cost you £1,497 and we can start today. And one or two things are going to happen. One, great, let's get started. Made the sale, congratulations, you did your fucking job. Transformation happened right then and there. However, you might be met with, cool, thanks very much, I just need time to think about it. Or thanks very much, I need to talk to my partner. Or thanks very much, I'm just not sure. And that's where we need to take a real hard look at ourselves and just take a sec and just meet them with curiosity. So it's going to cost $1,497. How does that sound? We can start today. Thanks, Jens. Really cool. I'm just going to need some time to think about it. Meet them with curiosity. Thanks for that. Chels, could you just clarify, based on everything we've spoken about, what other bits of information are you after? Because the reality is you and I both agree that you're pretty busy. And you said that you wanted this. It was important for you to have this now. You've got that thing happening in six months' time, and you agree that like this year was the year for you, you're not going to go away and actually think about it, but you might be after a little bit more information. And guess what? I'm going to be your greatest source of information. What other questions are just rummaging through your head right now? And you just meet them with some curiosity. It's gentle, it's calm, rather than like, why? So, you meet these things with a level of curiosity. Let's say, for instance, time thing did come up and you didn't see it as an obstacle. Oh, James, I just don't know if I'm going to have the time. It's like, cool. I completely understand. Finding time for yourself is super tricky. I struggle with it too. There's been many success stories where single moms like you in our gym have been able to prioritize themselves because how flexible our timetable is. The fact that you'd be able to take your kids to school, do some work, and get here for lunchtime is one of many successful case studies that we have in the gym. So why don't you run me through a normal day and we can find different solutions? Again, curiosity rather than freeze. The partner one is always a great one because put yourself in their shoes. What if they've done this thing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 times before, where they got met with a, hey, we're looking for 15 men in the Harpenden area who want to lose weight, get more energy and feel more toned. How many times have they been hit with that fucking ad only for you to go and waste a ton of money into it, not do it because the coaching product wasn't good enough, and then they have to go back to their partner and go, I did it again. That gym wasn't great. You just spent a few £100. This coach is a bit weird. And it's just every fucking time. And at what point does this person no longer want to do that to their partner? So you need to put yourself in their shoes. Be empathetic on the fact that they don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want to be shamed. They don't want to get it wrong again. Why is yours different? They don't believe in your thing well enough, or they don't believe in themselves. But either way, it's a belief thing. So that's where the curiosity needs to come into. So it's like, hey, Chels, completely get it. I'd want to speak to my partner too. Could I ask you, does your partner know that you've been struggling with this for a while now? Guess what happens? They're going to say yes. If they said no, then they're going to feel judged that the partner and them don't even communicate. So they're probably going to say yes. And then go, okay, how, and have you, did he know you're going to jump on a call with me today? Yes, no. Let's say it was a no. It's like, why not? Just more questions. If it's yes, then it's like, cool. And how did you describe that we were going to be different? It's like, oh, I've seen your marketing, I've seen that. It's like, oh, okay. So do you think that we're a little bit different to all the other things you've tried? It's like, yeah. It's like, so if you think we're different, and your partner knows you've been struggling with this thing, and he would want you to actually be on the other side of this, like transform, right? Like your partner wants the best for you, right? So yeah, of course. It's like, well, why would he be against it if he knew you were coming onto this? He knew you were struggling with it, and he really wants to see you succeed. Yeah, you're right. Sale made. Point transformation happens at the point of sale. So, the fundamental truth on all things sales, all that shit, is this. Meet it with a level of curiosity. Be agile enough to think about where they're going and play it like a game of chess. Sales is very much a process in which you want to go through discovery, understand where they're starting from, where they're trying to go, creating the gap in between, and then thinking of ways in which we can give them a level of belief into our product and into themselves that the solution that you're proposing is the one for them. It is a mixture of a process as well as an attitude. The attitude where you are there, you're present, you're positive, you're enthusiastic, but not too much. And above all else, you're curious. You're curious to drive change. You're curious to challenge them, to call them out on their bullshit, and fundamentally to try and move them to what is that first step of transformation. That's your job. I hope that you have seen this lecture as a bit of a mindset shift, a bit of a alternative world in how you can approach sales. And if you loved it, this is one of 85 lectures that sit within the Gym Owner Vault, our membership area for members within the Gym Owner Network who we've transformed the lives of many. And it's through education like this where we completely shift mindsets and challenge the way you currently are to turn you into a pro. I hope that this teaches you how to change more lives through the lens of sales. And if it allows you to become more successful, grow your team, give your team a long career, change the lives of many, we've done our job. Gym Owner Network, over.